So I look over and JK's sitting up the table by himself. So I thought, perfect opportunity for a chat. So I said to JK, how many goals do you think you'll kick on Sunday? And he goes, I don't know, maybe 3. And I went, that's not an answer. I said, I think you can kick 10 goals. But you've got to believe that, you've got to believe that you're going to kick, not this, I might do this, I might do that. Anyway, so Sunday comes and that's the game. He kicked 11 straight.
Oh my God. I can't tell you how excited I am because since I've been doing the show and most recently, I've just been hanging out with a bunch of boys and, I needed my girl time. I needed to talk to some girls about football. And more importantly, we are Eagles supporters.
We are through and through.
So
what I like being about an Eagles supporter, I think, because my hubby's a Pies man, right?
We're going to talk about that. I have questions. I have lots of questions.
We kind of figured out, I think the Eagles and Collingwood are probably the two most hated teams. I don't mind Collingwood. I mean, it's a great team and all that kind of thing. But I hate saying Vic bias, but that us and them thing is just, I think it's really cornerstone to how Eagles supporters feel about their team because we're so isolated and we've always been like that. So the Eagles kind of give us an avenue to.
On that note, where do you see the Eagles landing on the ladder in 2024?
I think 5 wins would be nice. 5 wins would be nice.
Are you saying another wooden spoon, or you think they might get to
Oh God, no, I'm not saying
16?
That. I'd never say that.
Okay, so favorite player, past or present?
Ooh.
You can name 2. You can give me 3. I know there's a lot of pressure in just one.
I kind of think it's kind of who's your favourite player in the different jumpers? That's kind of. But let's say 2006 Premiership. It's easy to love Ben Cousins and that, right? But Bo Waters was my man. I gravitate towards defenders for some reason. He was he was an enforcer like John Worsfold was, which we don't have one of them on our team right now. We don't have a guy who's willing to, put it on the line for everybody. It's kind of one of those one of those guys that just has you back. I don't think we've got a player like that at the moment, so that would be nice to be one of those. So Bo Waters is one of my, but present, it's hard to go past Oscar Allen for me.
Oh, Oscar, baby. Poor Oscar. They just keep taping him back together every year. This should work, put a little bit extra.
I love Liam Duggan as well. Again, another defender. He's not the flashiest, but he puts his body on the line all the time.
Look, I love him, and I can't tell you how much I appreciate the fact that he got rid of the mullet. There's a little bit of the perv thing going. They're beautiful men that I enjoy watching. Man, did his looks go through the roof. Once he got rid of the mullet, I was like, damn, son, you're cute.
Where'd you come from?
God, so cute. Oh, love him. Yeah. I do love him. And look, I am a huge fan of Tommy Barras, but, or Barras. You've heard me go on about this.
Barras.
Why can't they get this straight? It's Barras. Everybody on the team. Okay, I'm going to stop. So I adore him, and he did not have the greatest season. And to this day, I think it was the babies. The year before, he was unstoppable. In 2023, it just looked like the wind got knocked out of him or something. It was
and I think too, who was around him as well. To be a great player, you can't do that on your own. Like you just said, right? You need your guys around you. You look at the names that were in the back line. Announced for, it's very hard. You can carry a team on your shoulders if there's others helping you, but it can get to a tipping point where how much can you physically do? When the talks of that, they were talking about maybe trading him. Oh God!
Over my dead body, no. No.
Well, he looks good in an Eagles jumper, I have to say.
He looks good in nothing, let's be honest. He is so handsome. I've seen some footage of him a couple of years ago, he's really come into his, I'm so vain. I know I'm the worst. It's I'm so vain about it, but I like what I like. I can't help it. The whole Simo, are you happy he's staying, or were you on the fence about it?
I back Simo. I think that if you have a reaction when your team's going bad and you cut the coach, that's I don't think that's necessarily an answer. I think during instability, you've got to have, some stability there. And as a coach as well, those players need some kind of like security and all that kind of thing. So there's a lot of things he did that I'm not a fan of as well. I think a player like Greg Clark, who they tried to turn into a wingman, and he was an inside mid. So you've got someone who was killing it in the waffle, and then you bring him into the AFL system and you don't play him in his position. I think, from a coaching standpoint, I thought that was an ego decision. You shouldn't try to change a player who's 26, who's been playing in that position since he was a kid, and then you try to change him into something else at top level. It's never going to work.
Oh, how about, not to go off topic, but Brody Grundy, they throwing him into the VFL to turn him into a forward all of a sudden?
Yeah.
Like, what the hell? How insulting.
And to me is coaching ego, and it's a bad place to be. Look, the message can be stale from, like if a player's, but that's for them to try to sort out a little bit and talk to your coach about, right?
Yeah.
And he said, I am up for this rebuild.
Yeah.
So give him the chance. If we brought in a new coach, is that coach going to coach so well that we get more than 5 wins? I don't think it would have made a difference. I think having the stability, give him a chance, see what the end of 2024 looks like.
Right.
But he's going to need to, but I think he needs to do like a bit of a Damien Hardwick and have a little bit of a look at how he's doing things, and and do it and change that way. So
maybe he needs a Treena hug.
Yeah, I'll do it.
Have you hugged Simo?
Yeah, no, not yet. He doesn't come close enough to the fence, mate.
I don't know. I'm thinking there should be a campaign like a Treena, like we can make T-shirts, we can get it out on the news.
Free hugs. So I'm backing him right now because I don't think a change of coach would make any difference to the results next year.
Are you happy with the change in the CEO?
Yeah, I'm wrapped. If you're going to change things, change from the top. He's been in that position for 30 years or something ridiculous. Don Pyke. The stuff that happened with him at Adelaide was 6 years ago.
Okay, so now this is gossip because I don't know anything about what happened with him at Adelaide.
So when he was head coach at Adelaide, they had this camp thing, like a positive mindset camp thing that went bad, basically, and tore the club apart. And he was the scapegoat, right? Well, not the scapegoat, but he was the one that got shown on the door. But he's just got the intelligence. That's why he ended up at Sydney and all that kind of thing. So he's an Eagles premiership player. He's a great businessman and he knows footy. Now, that doesn't mean that the CEO sits at the board and makes decisions about footy, but I think it matters.
So do you think his buddy John Worsfold is going to come in as like a board member?
I think so. Well, he's definitely said he'd consider it. Yeah. I think having some Eagles people come back to the club could be a good thing because they come from that winning culture as well, and that's what we need to get back because we don't have a winning culture right now. It's a losing culture, unfortunately. So I like it. I like it that there's been a change. Yeah, because it's going to come from the top, and I'd like to see, like Justin Langer, the cricketer. He's an Australian cricketer and coached a few years ago. He's on the board. I like it when people come back to clubs because they want to do the best thing. They're not there on their own agenda. So I'm down with that.
So you're excited. So this is a good thing.
That's what I said. Like, there's excitement this week. It's nice to actually open up, like socials and read something good.
Yeah, exactly. Harley Reid. Let's talk about Harley Reid. If North offered picks 2, 3, do we take them?
That's what the Eagles are waiting for, aren't they? They're waiting for them.
Sounds like it, or feels like it, rather.
Yeah, give up. I've seen a little bit of highlights of Harley Reid. You've just got to go on what people are saying. It's just there's the ridiculous amount of media and stuff. The poor guy is just, I hope he's handling it all right. Yeah. But it's only because, that Victorians are just makes them just cringe at the fact that we could end up with him. Even on that alone, I'd say pick him just to piss off Victoria. Right. But nothing's guaranteed.
Yeah, that's true. He could get injured in round 1 and be done.
Right. Or the fact that, look at him and he's a big-bodied 18-year-old. Is he just better because he's a bit bigger than the other guys around him? I don't know enough about him, but the media are banging on about this generational talent. So you can build a team around, imagine Jimby, Hewitt and Reid in the middle for years to come. sounds good to me, right?
Right.
Is he a flight risk? Well, anyone that comes from another state is a flight risk.
Yeah.
Most players come to Perth and go, "Oh, this is quite nice."
Yeah, it's not too bad there once they get there.
So on the Harley Reid side, I know a lot of fans will go spare if they don't pick him.
Yeah.
Because you just pick the best player. If you want to
I'm sort of on the trade him up bandwagon because I want to get more for my money. You know what I mean?
Yeah. So if they're really, it depends on how really sold they are on Daniel Curtin.
Yeah.
Like, behind the scenes, if they're really sold,
because he's a Western Australian, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
He's a West Australian. So he's 10 centimetres taller than Harley Reid. He's listed as a defender, but plays anywhere you want him to. Yeah. So he may have more upside than may. I mean, it's all theory at the moment. It's all speculation, and you never know what's going to happen. Yeah. But I feel like he has a little bit maybe more upside, development side of things. But again, just guessing. And people say we could speed up the rebuild. Well, you get a couple of high-end talents, but that's not to say you have a pick. What have we got? Pick 23 that becomes pick 30 or something, and that player could become the cream of the crop. Right. So I don't know, it's a tough one, isn't it? Either way, I think we've just got to trust in what they decide to do. But it would have to be 2, 3 and something else. But why has the AFL gifted North Melbourne all these picks? I think it's for this reason. So that Harley doesn't leave the state. So
that's a little conspiratorial there, Treena.
Right. You shouldn't get all these picks, 5 first-round picks, and be able to trade them anyway.
Which of these young players are you most excited about that we already have?
Jimby, Hewitt, and Noah Long, who I just love.
Oh, Noah Long, he's so cute. You just stick him in your pocket. He's just feisty and I love that kid.
He's on the footy field. I think we might be the same height, but that's quite small for a.
He literally looks like he's not old enough to drive a car.
He looks like he's about 12.
Yeah, he has that little baby face. I mean, he just needs to keep the moisturizer up. He'll be great, forever. They'll be carding him for the rest of his life. But no, he's exciting. He's exciting. I like him.
I love that Jimby he just gets in there hard and that's why he injured himself and all that kind of thing. So I hope he kind of does, focus on tackling a bit better and better technique and stuff. And then when Hewitt took a little bit more time to get into the team and have his moments, but mate, does he have that X factor? I love it. And he's number 8, and I always follow the number 8.
Why? Who are the 8 players that you like?
So the number 8. So Bo Waters wore number 8.
Oh, that's right. Okay.
Number 8. So I always follow the number 8 because I'm born on the 8th of July, so I always have a thing for the number 8. Those pickups last year are amazing. I'm really excited to see all 3 and how they develop because they came in and gave us what we want to see.
I have an optimism about next season that I don't think they're going to be as bad as everyone thinks they're going to be. I mean, I don't know what that means. I've joked they'll be at the top of the bottom 4, but I don't know. I feel like
if we can keep those guys on the park as a team, surely.
If no one gets injured, is Liam Ryan coming back? God, I've missed him. I want to see some flying Ryan stuff.
Marich, I love him. He's great too.
Oh, what about Jai? What's the kid from the
in his knee? So we're not going to see him. We've got all these players who we've actually never really seen play all together before because it's kind of such and such will be coming back next week. Oh, great. We're going to have...
And then someone else gets hurt.
All of those. And then someone else gets injured during that game. I mean, I don't think we got through a game without an injury, right? Yeah. Yeah, there's a good core group of these young guys coming through. And you can tell at training sessions that they know that they are the next... It's up to them now. With the retirements of Bunga and Boots and Nui, it's, they know... That is now up to them, and that's exciting. That's really exciting.
And Shuey's going to be a coach. That's exciting. It's he's not going anywhere. We get to still see him, right?
He's already started. He was with the girls. He was with the girls team this week. Okay. So he's just getting his feet a little bit wet there. So I'm excited that he's back at the club. Okay, I have a couple more random questions for you. Yeah, go. Yeah. Who do you think's the best dancer on the team? Oh, who's got the moves? Who would I like to think's got the moves? Yeah. I reckon Elijah Hewitt's got some moves. Oh, yeah?
You mentioned that your hubby is a Collingwood supporter.
Yep.
So I'd like to know a couple things. One, I'd like to know, how was 2018 cheering for the Eagles against Collingwood? How did that go in your household?
Well, the first quarter was pretty difficult to get through. We started the year living in Perth, and then we moved to Bangkok mid-season. Ian moved early, and then I moved kind of like August, sort of just before the finals. So it's funny when we watch football together, right? We still sit in front of the TV and just bag the umpires and what's our team doing, and you know, like that kind of thing. We're sort of, you know, and I don't know, the Pies sort of sometimes have the wood over us, which just annoys me. Right? It just annoys me. But, you know, 2018, by the time the season ended, we were living in Bangkok, and I'd entered this tipping competition, right, at one of the local hotels in Fremantle, okay, which I ended up winning, this tipping competition, which was a trip for two to the grand final, accommodation and flights and stuff like that.
Wow.
So it was amazing that, you know, the Pies won that prelim, and I'm like, oh my God, Collingwood are in now. We just have to win, right, to get this trip. So it was an amazing time for us both, because it was just a perfect scenario. And then to have a game like that. So it's funny when you know, it's sort of like you go, oh, ball, it's not ball. Yes, it is. You know, those kind of things. So, but the thing is, right, so the night I met Ian and we talked, oh, who do you go for? Oh, Eagles, you know, Collingwood. And I was like, oh, really? Collingwood. And then I thought, you know what? Because I like you, love watching, it doesn't matter who's playing, I love watching the game. So I thought, really, the silver lining here is Collingwood fans love footy. Yeah. And I love footy, and this is the kind of guy that we could sit all weekend and watch football with. Yeah. That's a tick with me. That's a tick.
Are you both good losers?
Oh, we're terrible losers. Terrible losers, and quiet. Just like, you know, like final siren goes and he gets up and walks out, or I do, just to go into the bathroom and go,
so Collingwood is the luckiest team that has ever existed. I mean, they're good. Don't get me wrong. They're good. They're a good team. But the fact that they were able to win so many games by so little.
It's a coaching thing. You can get your players to buy into anything if you repeat a message enough and they believe it. And it's different. You go, okay, we're 20 points down. We've got this. You say it. And if as a group, they actually buy into that. Then, and everyone's on the same page, then you can get the job done. Luck is for people who are not prepared. Like, so my swimmers know, if I say to them, good luck, I'm basically saying to them, good luck, because you haven't trained as well as you could have. But if I say go to your destiny, I'm telling you that you're doing everything in your power. Because you don't need luck if you're prepared.
I think you just turned me a little bit. I think that was really insightful, what you just said. Didn't think of it that way. You did your job, Coach.
That's
Coach
right.
Treena, ladies and gentlemen.